Today we are going to take a look at the Epos Expand 80T against the Jabra Speak 810, both of them here in front of me. And of course, we are going to test the speakers, the microphones, so you can see how they sound and you can compare them for yourself and see the sound quality differences. I'm David Merritt, and this is the channel where we review and compare all of the latest business headsets, speakerphones, and webcams, so consider hitting that subscribe button. All right, now let's get started on this review. All right, now just looking at these two units, the Speak 810's been out for quite some time at this point, so I think the design is a little bit outdated compared to the Epos. The Epos, let me just lift these up for you so you can take a quick look at them. So I think the Epos just has a better looking design. It has the metal bezel on the outside. It has a cloth cover covering the speaker holes where the Jabra doesn't. Just has a more up-to-date look, but it is a newer product, so I mean that's kind of to be expected. I'm sure Jabra is working on a updated model here very soon. So the actual physical sizing, the Epos is quite a bit smaller, so I'm curious to find out in this video how the audio quality compares, especially being that the Epos is a lot smaller. It's like, I don't know, 3 inches or 2 inches shorter this way, and another, I don't know, 4 inches, 3 inches less width. But the Epos is significantly heavier, and I'm not sure if that's just to help it stay on the desk or just to make it feel like it's a really premium product. But of course, in this video, that's what we do. We're going to test them so you can hear for yourself how these products compare. So both of these products are designed to connect to your computer via USB cable, and then they also are designed to connect to your mobile phones via Bluetooth. Now the Jabra does have an additional 3.5 millimeter cable, but I know like my iPhone, without an extra adapter, I can't connect it with that 3.5 millimeter jack, but some of your phones out there do still connect with a 3.5 millimeter jack, and you're actually gonna get better audio quality when you plug in via USB or that 3.5 millimeter jack, whereas Bluetooth, you typically don't have as good of audio, but it's almost undistinguishable unless you're an audiophile and you have a really trained ear. But I just want to get that front off the table here. And then also with the Epos, it does come included standard with this USB dongle. And what this is going to be used for is, let's say your computer is too far away, with the included cable is only 5 or 6 feet. So you can be wireless up to 30 to 50 feet with this USB dongle, but this is does not have a battery inside this speakerphone, so you still have to have this cable plugged into the wall in order to get power. So they're both wired speakerphones, but the Epos does have that extra option to connect to your computer with that USB dongle, just in case you don't want an extra cable laying on the table, or it's just maybe a further distance, 30 to 50 feet away from the computer that you can pair this up to. So that is a nice feature to have. Now both of them are rated, Jabra says 15 participants that it's rated for, where the Epos says 16. Of course, they got a one-up Jabra, that's just what these manufacturers have to do. But if you think about it, this unit is only like 8 inches wide. If you have 16 people, you probably have a table that is 10, 15 feet in length. So you got to think about the logistics of people being huddled around this speakerphone. The Epos has additional microphones that can plug into the base so that you have mic pods actually extended here and can actually pick up your voice. So in my opinion, you're going to be able to have better pickup range on the Epos when you have those extended microphones when compared to the Jabra. But we're going to see in this room, it's about 15 feet in length. So I'm going to test both of these with the microphone in this environment so that you can see how well the pickup range is with the speakerphones alone. So that kind of gives you a quick summary of these units. Let's get to the fun stuff. Let's get them hooked up so that you can hear how they sound. Now, before I do that, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. All right, let's get them plugged in and let's get started. All right, so we have our decibel reader here and we have both the speakerphones on max volume. So you're gonna get a comparison, like for like comparison between the two units. And we're gonna play two audios. The first one, and I apologize in advance, is gonna be boring. It's just a meeting, like a Zoom meeting with a variety of people talking. And that's just so you can hear what it sounds like through the speaker when you're actually on a conference call. So I appreciate everybody who makes YouTube comments. We do look at them, and this is based on the feedback that you're providing. So if you don't like it, well, you can blame the other YouTube commenters in the video description below. Otherwise, I think it's very useful as this is a practical application. Now, the second thing we're going to test is music coming through both these speakers, and we'll go side by side so that you can hear them back to back, and you can get an idea of how music sounds. Now, obviously, these are going to be more used for meetings and talking and conversing, but it's helpful to get an idea of how much bass and tone and everything that the speakers produce. So, Jeff, get the meeting started so we can get an idea of what it sounds like.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. The first item is approval of the agenda. And I would like to move the health insurance renewal presentation to 8A and the budget update to 8B so that we could spend more time on the budget update, hopefully, than the insurance. So I would propose that amendment to the agenda. Are there any other changes from staff? Ms. McCoy?
No changes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, can I have a motion with that amendment as proposed?
Move to approve as amended. Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. The first item is approval of the agenda. And I would like to move the health insurance renewal presentation to 8A and the budget update to 8B so that we could spend more time on the budget update, hopefully, than the insurance. So I would propose that amendment to the agenda. Are there any other changes from staff? Ms. McCoy?
No changes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, can I have a motion with that amendment as proposed?
Move to approve as amended.
All right, so there is side by side of both of these units. Now, I had to listen to it quite a few times, so you may need to rewind and go forward on it. But my overall opinion is the Epos was cleaner audio, so you had more crisp highs. I would say you didn't have as much bass, but it was just an overall cleaner sound, where the Jabra sounded a little bit muddy as far as the highs and the basses. So you had a little bit of distortion when you had the music, but it had a little bit more bass sound to it as well. So I would say for conversations, Epos is going to sound clearer and crisper, which is what you want for a conference call for sure, 100%. For music, it's dependent. If you're somebody that really is an audiophile and you want a crisp, clear sound, I would say the Epos is the winner on that side as well. But the Jabra had a little bit more bass and a little bit more bump to it. So it's just kind of personal preference, but I would say Epos is the better for conferences and probably my preference for music as well. So now let's get to the microphones in both these, which is a vital importance when you're talking to somebody at another location or remote employees or whatever kind of video conference or audio conference you're having. So let's see how they compare side by side here. All right, so now my voice is going directly through the Epos, and this is with me being 1 to 2 foot away from the speakerphone here. And we're going to do a few more tests and switch back and forth between the Jabra and the Epos so you can get a good idea of what they sound like. So this is what it sounds like if you're really close to the speakerphone. This is again about 1 to 2 feet away, and then we'll switch over to the Jabra and then keep going back and forth as we do these tests here. Now, again, the Epos says they're rated up to 16 participants, and this is through the USB connection, and you can tell by this online indicator here on the speakerphone that you have that you're active right there on a phone call. All right, so now my voice is going through the Jabra Speak 810, and I'm 1 to 2 feet away from the Jabra unit here, so you can get a good idea of what it sounds like when you're speaking close to this speakerphone. Now, before we get to the next test here, I do want to let you know that the price point on both of these units, the Jabra is just over $600 MSRP, and the Epos is just over $700. But you're going to get your biggest discount on our website. Go there, headsetadvisor.com. I'll put a link in the video description below. And also on the card above for both these products. Make sure you use coupon code YouTube, all one word, YouTube. That's going to get you the best discount possible on these products. We greatly appreciate your support, and we don't just ship you a box like other people out there. We actually take the time to help you and be there for support, as we have technical staff here ready to go in case you run into any troubles or need help, of course. So, all right, now let's get to the next test. Stepping about 5 to 8 feet away, which is typically what you'll have when you're at a conference table, especially a larger conference room. All right, so now about 5 feet away, maybe 8 feet away from the speakerphone. This is the Epos here, and you're gonna be able to experience what it's like on your typical office or typical conference table. Most people are probably gonna be about 5 to 8 feet away from the speakerphone, or with the Epos, you have the little mic pods, so you can have somebody 5 feet away from the mic pod. So this is what somebody's going to sound like. Then what we're going to do next is go about 10 to 15 feet away from the speakerphone so you can hear what the pickup range is like there. All right, so now I'm about 10 to 15 feet away from the conference table, and I'm going to turn from the camera here, and this is what the pickup range is going to look like and sound like when you're 10 to 15 feet away. And I'm talking maybe slightly louder than I was when I was close to the to the speakerphone, as you know, you're going to have to speak a little bit louder in order to be picked up from this far away, but this is going through the Epos speakerphone at about 10 to 15 feet away from the speakerphone. All right, now I'm about 5 to 8 feet away from the speakerphone here in the corner, and this is what it sounds like when you're away from the speakerphone. What you're looking for really is pickup range of the microphones. The Epos has like 9 microphones built in, so in theory it should have better pickup, but this is the Jabra Speak 810. And you're going to be able to compare it side by side with the Epos so you can see how well it picks up. And what we're going to do next is step about 10 to 15 feet away so we can hear how the pickup range is when you're really far away from the speakerphone. All right, now we are 10 to 15 feet away from the Jabra Speak 810 speakerphone. I'm going to turn so my voice is projecting toward the speakerphone here. This is what the pickup sounds like being this far away, and this is probably further than you want to be away from the speakerphone. As a typical office table, you're probably going to be 5 to 8 feet more than likely, but this is what it sounds like in case somebody isn't maybe right next to the table or is presenting or something like that. This is what it's going to sound like when they're speaking through this Jabra speakerphone. All right, so now we're going to take this to the next level here. We got our blender and we have our little decibel reader here. So we're going to be able to tell how much noise canceling each of these speakers do or don't do. So imagine you're in a office and you have a call center outside. That could be really noisy. Maybe you have air conditioning units outside of your conference room, or maybe a busy road going by. So this is going to just simulate quite a bit of extreme noise close to the speakerphone and see if it cancels out any of the noise. So let's get started here. I'm going to go ahead and fire this up. And this is what it sounds like on the Jabra. And I'll be quiet so you can see how much decibels this blender's putting on next to me. So it's about that 74 decibel reading here, and you want to be able to hear my voice loud and clear and not the blender here, and this is going through the Jabra. All right, so now this is the Epos I put on top of the Speak A10, so it's the same exact test and location. It's about 3 to 4 feet away from the blender here, and this is what it sounds like when you have a lot of noise. And I'll be quiet so you can see if you can pick up any of that background noise. Still that same 73, 74 decibel reading here. All right, so this is where I need help from you. What did you think between the two models, the Epos or the Jabra? How did it overall perform for the microphone? As it varies quite a bit, and I'm curious to get your feedback. So put your thoughts in the comment section below. Would love to get your feedback. Overall, these are two awesome USB speakerphones. But if I'm being candid with you on which one I would choose between the two, if price was not a concern, I would go with Epos. Why? Well, just because it has this included USB dongle that you can have for a wireless connection to your computer in case you don't want this USB cable connected up. And the sound quality was better, it's smaller, and it visually looks a little bit better, so I'd rather have this design on my desk rather than the Speak 810, which I think is a little bit outdated at this point, but that's just my opinion on that, assuming price is not a concern. Then you also have another consideration to consider is if you're using Microsoft Teams. This is the Expand 80T model, which T stands for Microsoft Teams, which just means that it has the software for Microsoft Teams built into this speakerphone. You don't have to download or install anything extra. And some larger companies restrict their computers, especially if you're in banking or some kind of more secure type company. They won't allow you to download software to your computer. So you have to have a device like this in order to work, be optimized for Microsoft Teams. So what that's gonna do for you, you press the Microsoft Teams button, it'll pop up your Microsoft Teams client, or if you get a phone call, you can simply just press the answer button or hang up button. It's gonna answer and end your call. So you're gonna be optimized for that Microsoft Teams, which is really nice if you have that and you have some of those considerations. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Both these speakerphones are great, and if you need help finding a specific headset, speakerphone, or webcam, that's what our team does all day long. Please reach out to us. I'll put our contact information on the screen and in the video description below. So don't hesitate to reach out. It's absolutely free. We just love helping out. That's what we do every single day. Well, other than that, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you need either of these products, make sure you use coupon code YouTube, all one word, on our website. The link is on the description or in the cards throughout the video. And I just did a recent video review of the Bose VB1, which stands for Video Bar, and it's an all-inclusive speaker, microphone, and camera. Check that out right here. I think you might like that video. Otherwise, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos like that. Well, that's all I have for you this time. We'll see you next time.